Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Also, please do check out the description section below where I often add more information and potentially links in there as well. If you have any questions or comments about this statue, or you potentially have your own collection and you want to talk about the amazing ones that you have, because there are so many amazing statues out there, please put it in the comment section below. Let's get started. So first I want to show you the box. The box is a very large box, and just to get a measurement of it, we're looking at about 29 inches high by about just a little over 19, looks like maybe 19.25 inches wide. So aside from the box being a large box, it does have kind of like faded off in the background. I think I'm going to pull this in a little bit more. There's some comics like Captain America Lives Again. It's kind of like faded off into the grayish color. Kind of interesting. Over here, there's the Submariner and some other ones. It actually looks like it's easier to view in the camera viewer, which is kind of strange, but I guess it's kind of nice. I'm gonna throw this back up. Really big box. Nice looking though. And let's see what's on top. So yes, this is from the Avengers Assemble statue collection. Unfortunately, I did not collect them, and I kind of wish I did, but I went through this time period where I was just collecting so many statues, and then I had to go through this time period where I was selling them off. And I kind of wish I didn't sell some of them, and I'm sure that many of you out there that are watching this that have a large collection and you sold some of them, or potentially, you needed to sell some of them, you kind of look back and go, I wish I didn't sell this, I wish I didn't sell that, but I guess that's how it is, unfortunately. So let's get into the statue itself now. And I'm going to start with a measurement. So it looks like it's about 16, maybe 16.5 inches running from the back part of the statue. Actually, I could just do it this way. So it looks like it's about 16.5 inches from one end to the other. And let's see about how tall the hook is. I do have it up on this little spinning stand, so I'm just going to compensate for that a little bit. But it looks like about 23 inches is probably up to the top of the fist over there. And there are some large fists. It actually reminds me of the Kotobukiya statues, which I sold. I had them and I sold them. I had the Green Hulk and the Red Hulk version of those. Those had very large fists, considering the overall proportions of the statue itself. This one, the fists are a little bit large, and I'm actually going to talk about some of the things with this statue that I do like, that I appreciate, and I'm also going to talk about some things that I wish were a little bit different. So the heads, there's two heads. You got this head, which I think is, can we get a focus over here? Can we get a head focus? Can we get a head focus? There we go. There's a head focus. So we have this head, which I like as well. This is a statue that I like, both of the heads, which doesn't happen too often. Usually there's only one head that I appreciate. The other one I'm like, closer up of the other head. Yeah, so this is how the statue looks with the other face, the other head. I mean, I like them both. I don't really like one more than the other. I think that the mouth on them looks great. The teeth, the mouth, the eyes look great. I mean, they just really did a fantastic job on this statue overall. I'm gonna be going through my notes so I don't miss anything that I wanted to talk about. But if you own statues, it's a great idea to get a pair of gloves. You could, like $10, $15, go to your local, you know, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever it might be, and just get a pair where the palms are rubber. And it's great for moving statues, handling statues. It's so much better because you just won't slip off of it. Whereas using your bare hands, you'll slip. And then also to, you know, it's not always a great idea to, you know, touch the statues with your bare hands because of just, you know, the natural sweat oils, even if they are just, you know, washed and clean. Some of the manufacturers actually put like a pair of like white material gloves inside the box. I've seen it a few times over the years. The only problem with those type of gloves is because it's just fabric, it makes it so much easier to just slip, like grabbing this and this would just go flying. You know, over the years I've had statue parts where I'm not paying attention. Sometimes I'm just cleaning it. Like I got like a damp cloth and I'm, you know, kind of giving it a dusting and I forget that the head comes off and I tap it and the head goes flying and it's bouncing off the tile floor or, you know, whatever. And, you know, that's just not something that you want. And, you know, if you're a statue owner and you've had that happen to you, you've probably been like, ah, you know, you're horrified when that, you know, that statue part just starts to go airborne. So, you know, try to be careful. And again, it's a good idea to have a nice pair of gloves. Let me get my notes. All right, so we talked about the statue. Again, this is from the Avengers Assemble collection. So let's talk about the hands, the fists. The hands are very large, and when you look at the size of the actual heads that come with it, the fists are much larger than if you actually took your fist and put it behind your head like that. It just, you know, it's like 2.5 times the size of the head or something like that. So the fists, I think, add a nice feeling of motion, like that Hulk smash is just about to happen. But at the same time, it can be maybe a little bit too much for my taste. I would like to see them a little bit smaller, like maybe 20% smaller than what they are. But I mean, it's the Hulk. It's you know, it's a character that's been drawn differently over the years with different proportions. But overall, the rest of the proportions are pretty good, with maybe the exception of the arms over here. You know, the triceps, they look a little bit bigger than, you know, maybe they really would in comparison to the torso. But maybe I'm looking at it more so as like looking at a bodybuilder, and maybe I should be looking at it more so as, you know, from the you know, from the point of view of the Hulk. But again, it really depends on the artist and, you know, who's drawing the Hulk. The bones coming through the hands. I like the veins. I like the way the skin looks on the feet. That's pretty good as well. The overall forearms, I mean, it's just really well done. It's just a really, really well done statue. They definitely put a lot of thought into it. His toes are definitely cool looking because there's a bit of a color difference between the toenails and the rest of the skin. I also like the crinkles in the skin on the knees and the elbows. I think that looks great too. So really well done. A lot of detail put into it. The pants. I mean, these pants look absolutely fantastic. I would have thought that this was some kind of like one of the Sideshow statues that have the real clothes on it, that real material pants, but it's not, and it has like all the fine lines in the fabric. It's just really well done. Amazing. It even has a nice feel to it. I mean, at least from what I could feel with the gloves on, you know, and of course with the gloves off, but it has a different feel, like a texture about the pants that you know, the rest of the statue doesn't have the same texture. That's what I'm saying. So the pants definitely look different. They really stand out. All the tears in the pants too, like how this is torn and it's folded over, and then there's like the way this tear is over here. It's kind of, I mean, it's just really, really, really nice. The pockets look great. The seams look amazing, and so does this pull in the fabric that's back here. You know, again, it looks like real fabric, but it's not. It's just, you know, it's part of the statue. It's great. It's really well done. Oh, that's folded over. I remember when I first opened up the box and I saw the pants, I was amazed because, you know, again, I thought it was real fabric. I thought it was, you know, that type of a statue. This base is really amazing looking. It looks like there's real, like, crumbled rocks and dirt on this. And it's probably one of the few statues that I own where the base is something that just really, really, you know, it's something to look at. Because a lot of times, you know, the base looks okay, but, you know, it doesn't have all the details, like the multi-layers of the cement or the rocks, or, you know, wherever this was. Maybe this was the Hulk is fighting, you know, up on a mountain, or maybe this is, you know, the street. You know, I'm not exactly sure, you know, where it's supposed to be, but there's just so many little pieces of like crumbled rocks and dirt and cement, whatever it might be. I don't know. But it does. It just looks great. So one of my concerns would be the head, the swappable head. Most statues that have a swappable head have some type of a line. There's a line that you could typically see depending on the viewing angle. And, you know, for some people, they might not like it. Other people might be okay with it. I mean, I have more of a preference to a statue where the head is actually attached. But, you know, sometimes having a statue with two different heads where, you know, it's nicer because the statue that has the head that's attached, that's it, you're totally stuck with it. So really, you know, you just have that head, there's a head line over there. So really, you know, it just depends on the viewing angle for the head, whether that's something that, you know, might or might not, you know, bother some people. Because looking at it this way from this point of view, or maybe from a view where it's more of a downward view like this, so if the statue's up high, the seam around the head isn't even noticeable from here, okay? Because it's, you know, it's higher up. But if you're standing, then if you're standing up and you're looking down at the statue, then the seam becomes noticeable, and it's much more noticeable from the back or from like this type of a angle. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is because if this is a statue that you decide to purchase, you know, you definitely want to have a place in the house that you could put it where you could appreciate it. So, you know, any place that you might be putting this statue, you definitely want to just keep that in mind. But overall, this statue looks great whether it's up high or it's down low. I think I appreciate it from high or low. Whereas some statues, you know, either they have to be up high or they have to be up low, or they have to be down low to look much better. You know, that viewing angle is really important. If I was to rate this statue on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best and 1 being the worst, I would probably give it a 9. And if I wanted to be really hard on it, I would say maybe an 8.5. And that's really only because of the seam that would be over here with the swappable head. And, you know, again, the seam, depending on the viewing angle, it might bother some people more than others, and it might also kind of prevent the statue from being displayed easier depending on the location. So if this head was attached to this statue, you know, it would be perfectly fine and you could view it from any angle. But because of that seam, you know, it might not be so appealing. The other thing would be, I personally would have liked the fists to have been just a little bit smaller, but that's just a preference. So, I mean, maybe if I was going to be really hard on it, that would be the half part. So that would take it from a 9 to an 8.5. But, I mean, overall, it's an amazing statue. It's probably one of my favorite Hulk statues that I've owned. I've owned a lot of them over the years, and unfortunately, I've sold most of them, but the Hulk being one of my favorite characters, this is a statue that you know, I can't picture myself selling, at least not for a long time. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, please post them in the comment section below. And again, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.